All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're cracking the code on the modern workplace. We're going to look at its biggest challenges and, more importantly, find some real practical solutions.
So, does this question hit home for you? If you've ever felt that work today just has more friction, more complexity, and frankly, more burnout than ever before, well, you are definitely not alone. This feeling is everywhere, and it turns out there are some very real reasons for it.
The scale of the change we've been through is just massive. The pandemic didn't just move us out of the office. It kicked off this fundamental reshuffle in how we even think about work. And you can see it in the data. I mean, just look at how interest in remote work absolutely exploded after 2019. Suddenly, it wasn't just about location. It was about a whole new set of expectations and complexities that, honestly, we're all still trying to figure out.
But here's the good news. All these challenges, they're not just random chaos. They actually fall pretty neatly into three core areas: the people we work with, the systems we operate in, and the physical space where it all happens. And by breaking it down like this, we can start to find some real actionable solutions.
So, let's start with maybe the most important element of all, the people puzzle. This is all about the culture, the communication, and the connections, or sometimes the lack of connections, that really define our day-to-day work lives.
So how can you tell if you got a people problem? Well, the signs are usually right there in front of you. You might see a revolving door of employees, right? Or maybe a constant cloud of negativity that just hangs in the air. A rise in gossip and conflict. Yeah, that's a big one. And at the heart of all this, it often comes down to a simple breakdown in trust.
And one of the biggest drivers behind this is surprisingly simple. Research found that if employees could change one single thing about their company's culture, a full quarter of them would just ask for more appreciation and respect. It's not about big, fancy perks. It's about feeling seen and valued for the work you're putting in.
Okay, so how do we fix this? Well, it really starts with transparent communication, being open and honest even when the news isn't great. That's how you build a foundation of trust, and from there, it's about providing meaningful recognition. This doesn't have to be complicated, It could be a simple Employee of the Month program, or even just a manager taking 2 minutes to write a thank you note.
And the impact here, it's just staggering. For a company with about 10,000 employees, just doubling the number of people who feel recognized can save over $91 million in productivity. That is the incredible power of just saying thank you.
But what happens when the problem isn't really the people? I mean, you can have the best team in the world, but everything can still fall apart if they're stuck working inside a broken system. We're talking about the flawed processes and structures that dictate how work actually gets done.
And the symptoms of a broken system? They usually feel a lot like pure exhaustion. Think about it. Overwhelming workloads, totally rigid schedules, zero work-life balance, and that really critical feeling of being stuck in a dead-end job with absolutely no way forward.
Bad system design also creates these incredibly stressful situations. On one hand, you get role ambiguity, where you honestly just don't know what you're supposed to be doing. But what might be even worse is role conflict. That's when you get opposing instructions from different managers, or you're given tasks that just flat out contradict each other. Both of these are just perfect recipes for burnout.
And the consequences are huge. Get this, a Gallup survey found that nearly half of the entire American workforce is actively looking for a new job right now. And one of the biggest reasons for this massive search is a lack of opportunities for growth, a classic sign of a broken system.
So, how do we start to repair a broken system? It really takes deliberate, intentional design. First, you have to define roles clearly to get rid of all that confusion. Then, distribute the work fairly so it isn't just getting piled onto a few people. Offer flexible schedules that actually respect that people have lives outside of work. And finally, create clear career maps so employees can actually see a future for themselves at the company.
And really, nothing drives home the value of flexibility more than this insight right here. When researchers asked people what the single most positive benefit of new ways of working was, the answer was so simple: just getting their commute time back. That time translates directly into better work-life balance, proving that a flexible system is a healthier system.
So, we've talked about people and we've talked about systems, but there's one more crucial piece to this puzzle: the physical world. Our minds and our bodies are directly affected by our workspace, and that's true whether it's a fancy high-rise office or just the corner of your kitchen table. This is where the science of ergonomics comes in, and put simply, it's all about making your workspace fit your body instead of forcing your body to fit your workspace. Getting this right is the key to preventing all that neck pain, backache, and wrist soreness that so many of us have just started to accept as normal.
And the Mayo Clinic has this fantastic, simple checklist. Let's go through it. Is your chair adjusted so your feet are flat on the floor and your thighs are parallel to the ground? Is your monitor about an arm's length away, with the top of the screen at or just below your eye level? When you type, are your wrists straight? And are your most used objects, like your phone, actually within easy reach so you're not constantly straining?
And here's a simple number to remember for your monitor. The sweet spot is somewhere between 20 and 40 inches away. If it's any closer, you risk eye strain. Any further, and you might start hunching forward, which leads to all kinds of neck and shoulder pain.
But here it is, maybe the single most important piece of advice about all of this. The best posture is always your next posture. No setup, no matter how perfect it is a substitute for movement. So seriously, get up, stretch your body, and walk around as often as you can.
Okay, so we've looked at the people, the system, and the physical space. The big question now is, how do we pull it all together to build a workplace that actually, truly works?
Well, here's the blueprint. It really comes down to 4 key pillars that combine everything we've talked about. Number 1, communicate openly and honestly to build that trust. 2, genuinely recognize and reward people's contributions. 3, provide real flexibility and support for work-life balance. And 4, invest in the right physical tools and ergonomics to keep people healthy and comfortable.
And it is so crucial to understand that these things, they are not just nice-to-have perks. They are the absolute cornerstones. They are what make a workplace productive for the long haul, resilient when things get tough, and fundamentally human-centered.
So, I'll just leave you with this to think about. Whether you're a leader or a member of a team, what is the one small change you can champion starting tomorrow to help build a better workplace for yourself and for everyone around you?